Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of the Cartridge and Disc Podcast. This is your Gen X Gamer here. And let me set the scene for you. Yes, I am in the car, but it's not a commute. I'm in the middle of the breadbasket right now. I'm in what you would consider a business trip. And I packed my PlayStation 5 with me. I don't want to miss a beat. You know, when I'm down at the hotel, since I can't go out anymore and do the stuff that I used to do, my wife feels very safe that I'm sitting in my hotel room, getting me some PlayStation 5 on. Well, anyway, guys, I wanted to talk to you about the gaming market and the state of the gaming market today. As you've seen, there's many YouTubers right now. They are selling their collections. And let me tell you, it's a good time to sell. It's a good time to make money. If you are a casual collector and have a bunch of games that are expensive or semi-expensive, now is a good time to sell. If you are a casual collector that just has a bunch of games that you know you're not going to keep, that maybe you just got into the hobby just for YouTube, whatever, now is a good time to sell. If you bought expensive video games and don't want to lose money because the market's going to come down pretty soon, now's the time to sell, right? All those things are true right now. You have to be able to know how to navigate a market and, you know, when to buy low and when to sell high. Right now is a seller's market, and it has been for the last 4 years. People have been making money hand over fist selling video games. Now, every market has to burst. Every bubble has to burst. It's just the way it is. It fluctuates. And as gamers get older, right, and some of them no longer around, those games that they held of value, right, those systems, even though they're retro, they're not nostalgic to one sector of the population anymore, and that's why they go down in value, because nobody's buying them. It's plain and simple. So here comes some opportunities. I mean, I just told you the opportunity is if you're a seller, but what if you're a buyer? Well, guys, if you're a buyer, there's several things you have to do, right? Now, there's not a reason that you should pay full price, especially in a market that's going to fluctuate like this, but you need to have a little bit of patience. Because nobody can predict when that bubble's going to burst, right? Nobody's Nostradamus, whether it's real estate or the video game market or the stock market. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody can tell you this day X is going to happen. And if you do, two things will happen. You're either going to become very, very rich, or you're going to spend a lot of time in prison if you're able to do that. But there are things that you can do to turn things in your favor so you can be ready to seize those opportunities. And what are those things? Well, like I said, if you have things of value that you know you're not going to keep, now's the time to sell them. But what if you're a buyer? Well, if you're a buyer, now is when you start putting out your feelers. Because as more and more people sell, more things will become available. Now, a lot of the market could jump all of a sudden, but it doesn't mean that you're going to get first dibs on the games that you want, especially if you already have a large collection. You already have a bunch of the games already. There's only a few titles that you want. Maybe you want to buy a full collection, I don't know, right? But this is when you start putting your feelers out, or even earlier, right? So for example, I've been talking to this one dude for about a year, right? And, you know, just putting feelers out there. Look, this is what I'm willing to do on these items right here. Now, these games that I'm talking about, guys, are not super expensive games. You know, they're not crazy. They're just more of sentimental value for me, right? But I feel that the market overall for this type of games, and just gaming in general, if I had to give you a percentage, I'd say that the market is about 30% for the desired games. It's just over market, right? So, you know, a $50 game, you know, goes for, you know, 75, you know, so on and so forth. And you can make that your starting point, or whatever you think the market is overvalued by. Maybe you think it's 100%, whatever, just bid half then. But I put feelers out there for the stuff that I know that I want, and I tell them, hey, listen, I know that you're not thinking about selling everything right now, but I'm interested in X, Y, Z, right? And I let it be known that I want those particular items. If it's a whole collection, you know, I straight up tell them, hey, you know, whenever you want to move on from your collection, let me know, because, you know, I'd be interested in X, Y, or Z. Now, those things, if you're really lucky, they'll call you in a panic when the market's dropping. But what you are guaranteed to do most of the time, not every time, right? But like me, this gentleman contacts me first because he knows I'm serious. He doesn't have to deal with the BS of trying to do things online and getting returns and somebody saying that some shit is scratch or something like that. No. He knows that when I talk about something, I'm going to get it, right? I have no issues, and he tells me what it is, boom, I buy it and it's done. And you can do the same thing. You can put your feelers out there, but don't be shy about talking to people. You can talk to everybody. You can talk to shop owners. Maybe there's a couple of shops that you go to. Now's the time to start noticing the items maybe that you want, maybe those 1 or 2 pieces that you're missing from your collection that you've seen them there. Maybe they haven't moved them in 6 months. You've been admiring it for a long time. Now's the time to talk and say, look, if, you know, X, Y, or Z happens, you know, I'd be looking at, you know, getting this item. I would like it for around this price, whatever you think that fair price is, right? But the thing is to always be in communication, guys, whether you're going to be selling or whether you're going to be buying. Communication is key, but more, right? More for buying, because selling in a seller's market is easy. You just say, I want to sell this, and, you know, people will chase after you. But when you're buying in a seller's market and you're approximating a crash, because like I said, nobody can time this, right? Nobody has a crystal ball, and nobody's going to tell you exactly what day and time the market's going to fall. That's why you want to put your feelers out there, and then if the market falls and they start panicking, you're the first person that they contact. They don't want to be haggling, right? Doing a bubble burst where, you know, things are cheap out there. You can give them a fair price, whatever you think that is, and you have the upper hand in the negotiations from the very start. But it takes hard work, guys. I mean, it just takes preparation, and that's what you have to do. I'm putting my feelers out there as we speak, because there's a few items that I would like to get. And if you're in the same boat, this is the time to do it. And like I said, if you're not, if you want to sell your items, if you're not a degenerate like me that's going to keep his games forever, then hey, you know, now's the time. You got to hit it while the iron's hot, as they say. Go ahead and make your money, guys, or get the things that you want. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that helped you in some way. If you like this kind of video, make sure you stop by and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.